Right, hello and welcome back to Game Week 23 of the Premier League, yeah.
And hit by McAllister! Liverpool are the champions for their people, with their people. Declan Rice! Oh! It's a ripper! Marvellous! Oh, that's magnificent! The young guns of Chelsea claim the Champions League prize. Newcastle will be playing Champions League football again. Now, 20 times the champions of England, Liverpool.
We have had some massive turning points in this season's title race and the bottom half of the league. Find all that out and a lot more next. Yeah. Boys, if you want a discount on your energy, go and get my discount in the description. New Dan 10 at checkout. Peace. Yes, and we come back with a guest for the second time this season. And his name is Mr. Joshua Cohen. Hello, sir. Welcome to Game Week 23.
Dan's channel. It is Josh here, or joshspurs1238, and it is great to be back on Dan's channel for another Premier League predictions video. I think it is Game Week 23, I believe. And yeah, we're sort of getting the idea of what's going to happen with the league now, because we're well over halfway now into the season. And yeah, it's getting exciting now. I'm really glad to be back. Thank you for inviting me, Daniel. And yeah, let's just get straight into my predictions.
And we're starting on Saturday the 24th at 12:30 for West Ham versus Sunderland. Now, West Ham played against Tottenham Hotspur and beat Tottenham Hotspur crucially to close the gap to Nottingham Forest to 5 points. Now a 5-point gap at the top of the league there, and they play against a Sunderland team who beat Crystal Palace by 2-1, thanks to another goal from that man, Brian Robbie. Now, what do we say in this team? West Ham needing the points. West Ham needing it. Sunderland are decently mid-table. I'm going to say both the home fans and Sunderland and West Ham needing wins. Southern players West Ham have 2-1 West Ham United. And Josh, what are you saying in this game?
Right, the first game is West Ham against Sunderland, and we know Sunderland have been amazing. They've been promoted and they're going to finish in top 10 probably. They're a really solid team, so well done to them. West Ham have just beaten Spurs, which is really bad for Tottenham. But, it happens in the derbies, so fair play to them. They're at risk of going down. They're in the bottom three. But maybe they'll use that win to give them confidence in the next games coming up. So, I don't know, with this game, it's tough to call for me, I think, with this one. So, I think it's going to be a good game. Lots of goals, 2-2 draw.
We now go to 3 p.m. and to Turf Moor for Burnley versus Tottenham Hotspur. Now, Burnley drew 1-1 with Liverpool. They're taking points off Liverpool and Manchester United recently in the last couple of weeks, which is crazy. Like I mentioned, Tottenham did lose 2-1 to West Ham, but they have been going through a lot of turmoil at Spurs. Thomas Frank is, let's say, close to going, but not has gone, but is very close to going as Tottenham manager. Josh will tell you more about it, but Burnley's Tottenham, I'm going to go with now a 2-1 victory to Spurs. And Josh, what are you saying in this game? We have
next game is Burnley against Tottenham. Burnley have been really poor. They're probably going to go down. They're in the bottom three. They're not looking too good. Tottenham, though, this is the worst I've ever seen Spurs, in my opinion. We are terrible. Yes, we beat Dortmund. We beat Palace a month ago. I get that. But we've had far too many losses and draws recently. It's just not been good enough. I don't think we're going to go down, but we are, 14th. We are low down, and it needs to improve. We need to get a win sharpish. The players and the manager, they're not good enough. There is something wrong at the moment, but let's just take it a game at a time. We should still be beating Burnley, even if we are terrible. I reckon we might just nick it. I reckon we'll take confidence from the Dortmund game. I reckon we'll win 1-0, but it'll be an ugly win, but I'll take it. A 1-0 win for Spurs.
Head back to London and to Fulham versus Brighton and Hove Albion. Now, Fulham played out a 1-0 defeat. Well, a narrow 1-0 defeat to Leeds. Got a 91st minute winner. We'll get on to Leeds and now in a minute. And against a Brighton and Hove Albion team who thought, you know what? We're going to rescue a late point in that game thanks to substitute. Excuse me. Constalosis. I've butchered that. I know I have. I am very sorry to him. But in this game, I can see it being a draw. I mean, both these teams are fairly even. Well, but both these teams sit literally mid-table, 11th and 12th in the league. This game has a bore draw all over it with a 1-1 bore draw. And Josh, what are you saying at Craven Cottage?
Fulham against Brighton. Two solid mid-table teams. They're not going to be near Europe, but they're not going to go near the bottom either. They're not the most exciting teams, but they are solid mid-table teams, and they're going to be. They're both going to be comfortable this season. I can't really predict what's going to happen in this game. I'm thinking a draw already. I don't like going for 0-0s, but I don't think there's anything going to happen too much in this game, so I'll go 0-0 for this one.
From Craven Cottage to the Etihad for title chasers Man City versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now, City lost the Manchester derby again. 2-0 to Man United, and then when it rains, it pours. Lost in the Arctic Circle to Bergland, and they need to get back to winning ways if they want to contest Arsenal for that lead, because Arsenal have a match against themselves as well. I mean, is it Wolves' unbeaten record will come to an end? 4-0 Manchester City and Mr. Joshua Cohen. What are you saying in this game? Now we move.
Man City against Wolves. Look, Wolves are going to go down. They're on like 8-9 points or whatever. They're terrible. It's just been quite tragic for them. But they are starting to get a couple of draws. They are improving a little bit, but it's just going to be a bit too late, I think. But Man City have not been themselves. They're not going to win the league now, in my opinion. They've dropped too many points, and they'll still get top four comfortably. They're still an awesome team, but they're not going to do enough to win the league now. I don't think they're going to annihilate them, but I think they are going to win this game quite comfortably. We'll go 3-0 Man City.
To AFC Bournemouth versus Liverpool. Now at 5:30 at the Vitality Stadium. Bournemouth drew 1-1 to Liverpool to Brighton, and Liverpool drew 1-1 to Burnley. Both these teams drew on match day 22. And I am going to say, in this game, it could be one of the interesting and closest games live without Semenyo is doing well for Bournemouth so far. But they have signed someone, a guy from, I'm going to miss from somewhere. 2-1 Liverpool. And Josh, what are you saying in this game?
Bournemouth against Liverpool, very tricky game to call, because even though Liverpool are a solid team, they've also been so inconsistent, Liverpool. They might not even get top four. Like, they've been really, really poor recently. But so have Bournemouth. They were like in the top five for a while, and now they're like, where sort of Spurs are, like, bottom five or bottom six teams. Like, they've been pretty bad recently, Bournemouth. So I think this is going to be a Liverpool win, but I think it's going to be a very good game. I'm going to go Bournemouth 2, Liverpool 3.
Head to Sunday, and we're starting in London. Our first two games that are in London. First of all is Brentford versus Nottingham Forest. Now, Brentford, under Keith Andrews, did lose 2-0 to Chelsea, however. And against a Forest team who drew 0-0 to lead Arsenal. To take points of Arsenal is a mean feat. I mean, Forest have done it. Can nobody else do it? Hopefully we can later. That's a little spoiler for what's to come. And in this game, Brentford are very good. Brentford are good. West Ham, Forest. It'll be a Brentford win because Iago Thiago will score 2-1. Brentford. And Josh, what are you saying in this game? Now you go.
Brentford against Forest, Nottingham Forest. Brentford started the season quite poor, but in recent games they've been winning and they've got themselves in that top 8. You know, they're winning games. Igor Thiago is just killing it at the moment. He's fantastic. They're solid, Brentford. And Nottingham Forest have really struggled this season. I think they're 4th from bottom. But I do think they're going to stay up. And they are going to get a few wins from somewhere. And I think I might go for an upset here. I think one of their wins will come against Brentford. I don't know why. Brentford are the favourites to win. But favourites don't always win games, do they? I'm going to go for a 2-1 Nottingham Forest win.
Back to London and to South London, I think, for Crystal Palace. This is up. Where's Chelsea now? Palace lost to Sunderland, like I mentioned, and Chelsea beat Fulham by. Was it Fulham or was it somebody else? It was Brentford they beat 2-0. But Palace have been going through a bit of recent turmoil themselves. Sold Mark Guehi to Man City for an undisclosed fee. I think it may have been £65 million. I think yeah. And Glasner has come out and said something, and now their main man, their leading guy called John Philippe Mateta, wants to leave the club this summer. This winter. Chelsea looked good under Leon Moussagnon. I can see it being a Chelsea victory because Palace will a bit of what tension will be like at Selhurst Park. What will it be at the Selhurst Park? I have no idea why. 2-1 Chelsea. And Josh, what are you saying in this game?
Crystal Palace against Chelsea. Palace obviously won the FA Cup and the Community Shield, and they've been a really good team for a couple of years now. But they've lost a lot of their players and their managers going, and they are dropping down the table. They're like 13th now, and I think they could drop a bit lower. They'll definitely stay up, but they are certainly struggling. Chelsea are struggling as well. They're still up there for the top 6. You know, one day they play brilliantly, and the next day they lose or draw. You know, they're not spectacular, but they are winning most of their games. And I think they're going to win in this game. I think it's going to be a tough game, but I think Palace are just really struggling at the moment. I'm going to go Palace 1, Chelsea 2.
We head to Tyneside and to Newcastle versus Aston Villa. Now, Villa drew a ball. Villa lost 1-0 to Everton. Now, that has not changed things at all. All the top, literally every single team either lost or won. So literally Arsenal's point and changed by a point. No matter what anything else, and against a Newcastle team who are banging in goals left, right and centre. Played against Wolves and drew 0-0 to Wolverhampton Wanderers. And I can see it being Villa need to get back on points. 2-0 Aston Villa. And Josh, what are you saying in this game?
Newcastle against Aston Villa. I'm thinking another upset here because even though Villa are like 3rd at the moment and they've been unbelievable this season, they do have some weaknesses. Their squad's not humongous. Take out, Watkins and a couple of their defenders and Rodgers, and then they are, slightly more average team. Like, I do think they'll drop down the table slightly, but they'll probably get Europe still. And Newcastle are struggling to get results at the moment, but when they're on it, they can beat anyone. They are a solid team, so I'm going to go for a bit of an upset again here. I think I'm going to go 3-1 to Newcastle.
Head to Sunday and to the Emirates at 4:30 is Arsenal versus Manchester United. Could have a massive say in which way the title goes. Playing Man City last weekend for Tottenham Derby and winning it. And then obviously now playing Arsenal this weekend could have a massive factor in which way this title will go. Obviously beating City 2-0 thanks to goals from Brian and Mbeumo and Patrick Patrick Dorgu. Bruno is the star of the week this week because of his involvement in the goals for both of them. From Arsenal, I want to say we'll win it, but I want to say we'll draw it 1-1 in this game. And Josh, what are you saying in this game?
Arsenal against Man United, probably the headline of the game week, you know, the massive game. Man United have actually been good. They've been winning a lot of games recently. Carrick knows what he's doing, it looks like. But if they're just beating a few of the weak teams they've dropped points to, then they would have easily been in that top four. But they are getting there. But Arsenal, I mean, I hate Arsenal as a Spurs fan, but let's be real. I think they're going to win the league now. I'm sort of coming to terms with it happening, unfortunately. What can you do? They deserve it, I guess. They are 7 points clear. I think they're going to really start to keep winning games now. And I don't think anyone else is good enough to catch them anyway, even if they were to drop points. I think Arsenal are going to win this game. I think it's going to be tight. I think Man United will maybe score, but I think Arsenal will nick it 2-1.
Head to Monday and to the Hill Dickinson Stadium for Everton. This leads both these teams won narrowly by 1-0 each, and I can see this being here a very close game. I can see it being a Leeds, or I can see it being a score draw of 2-2. And Josh, what are you saying in this game?
So sorry, I'm filming the last game outside. I just completely forgot about this game. Everton against Leeds at home. I think Everton have dropped off a bit, but they will be staying up for sure. And Leeds are definitely fighting for survival, but they have been winning games recently. They definitely could stay up. I mean, for this game, I'm just going to, let's say, go for a 2-0 win to Everton. Right, that is all the games to predict. Let me know what you think of my predictions. Thank you, Dan, for having me again. Maybe I'll see you guys again soon in a few weeks for another predictions video. And yeah, bring on the Premier League season. Let's see what happens. Thanks for having me, and see you guys later.
Thank you all for watching, and I will see you lot in a couple of hours' time for the Women's Super League. But until then, boys, goodbye, and let's see what will happen with the top half of the Premier League title fight.